Hey there, this is a video to update you on some exciting things that are happening at Great Lakes Christian High School with regard to our Vision 2020 renovation. My name is Dwayne May. I have been a staff member here at Great Lakes since August of 2005, and I was a student from 93 to 98. Today is March 1st, 2021, and so we're going to update you on our Vision 2020 project, which was supposed to happen in 2020, but COVID has put us behind by a little bit, but we're very excited to get it started again. Work has been going on in the school since January 25th, and there are some very significant changes. So let's go on inside and have a look. So you come in our front entryway here, into our front foyer. First thing you'll notice is this wall is a new wall, and over there you see another kind of purpley new wall. These are just hoarding walls. These are not where the walls will be, but the construction work happens from 1 to 9, and our students are in the building till about 4, and then you have supper and open gym. And so there's a little bit of overlap between our students and the work that's being done. And so these hoarding walls have been erected to keep our students and the work separate for things like COVID, contact tracing, but also just to keep dust down and the general safety of everyone involved. As you come into this space, you may remember this used to be kind of 2 offices with a little wall in between, but you used to come in here and you had to make a really tight right-hand corner and swing right around, and then you had these very steep stairs, and those have been removed, and so you can see up into the 2nd floor kind of, but those stairs have been removed and they will remain removed. Part of the genesis, or not part of, the genesis of doing this project is to improve the accessibility of our building. Our building is not in compliance with the Accessibility Act of Ontario, and we were grandfathered in, so this isn't mandated that we do it, but we felt that we should improve our building in terms of accessibility. And so as you look there, you see some cuts in the floor, and those are footings for a new staircase that will be to code. So you'll enter in over here, and you'll go up 7 or 8 stairs kind of thing, and hit a landing. And then when you hit the landing, you'll make a left-hand turn and go up 4 or 5 more stairs or whatever, hit another landing, and then make another left-hand turn, and you'll enter the 2nd floor through the ceiling about there, somewhere about there. Another issue with our building was that all the stairwells from the 2nd floor entered into the main floor kind of almost as dead ends in the middle. And I mean dead ends in terms of escape routes for fire escape, etc. And so one of the issues is you need your stairwells to have an exit to grade for escape routes. And so you'll exit that new staircase right about there, and then that will allow you to go right outside, because that'll be right by the front doors. So you can go right outside to grade. And so that will allow us to be in compliance with fire code as well. And so once these staircases are put in, the space that's left, not necessarily where that hoarding wall is, because it's just temporary, but the space that's left will be returned back to an office. And we'll have some office space right here, right by the front door, to welcome people as they come to our building. So as we move through the front foyer here, or go back to the front foyer, this is the area at the top of the stairs. That white wall that you're seeing is just a tarp. It's a temporary hoarding wall. But there's lots of changes going on behind this wall, so let's go take a look. So we used to have those trophy case kind of walls there with windows through both sides, and they really closed off the entryway to the top of the stairs. There's one there and a bit of a smaller one there, and those have been removed, and this space will be opened up to have more flow. And then there's the under the stairs storage that most recently has been a kitchen pantry. But if you've been a dorm student, you'll remember the mailboxes. When I was a dorm student, I would check those mailboxes at every meal, and I think that was a fairly common thing. And so some of you will be sad to see those go, as they represented a lot of your day at Great Lakes. But the reality is our students, they get e-transfers. They don't get checks in the mail. They get FaceTime and Snapchat, and they communicate with their parents in very different ways than you and I did. They get a lot of Amazon packages, but the Amazon packages would never fit in those tiny little boxes, so they are gone. But that pantry will be returned. It had to be pulled apart to be rebuilt to get it up to fire code. As we walked in, you probably noticed some scaffolding. That will make more sense in a minute, so I will move on. And we'll start to head up those back stairs. And you might notice as we come around the corner that gray kind of silhouette cut out there as we get a little closer. So that is the beginnings of what will be a doorway to the outside. So as I said before, we need to come out and have exits to grade from our stairwells to get up to fire code. And so that will go out to the area that's between the gym and the library. There was that kind of dead space between the two. And we want to turn that dead space into usable space. So there's going to be a patio put out there, outdoor furniture, and a place for our students to go, and a place for classes even to get outside when the weather is nice. And there's also going to be another doorway to that courtyard off the library. And so it'll be accessible and it'll be used. And so we don't want this to just merely be an exit to make us to code that no one ever thinks about, but as a way to improve the way we use our campus for our students. And I'll head up the stairs here. So this is that big space upstairs that's been used many different ways over the years. If you were a student at the time that I was in the 90s, this was our computer lab. But it's been a big space at times, and it's been split up into 2 classrooms at times. But that's that big space, and everything up here has been kind of stripped right down to the studs. But as we look over here, you can see there's a wall missing. You can see the scars in the wall from where it used to be. And there's a beam right there. It's clad in some plywood to get level with the floor. But there's a big steel beam there. What's going to happen here is that wall has been removed and the floor is going to be built right out to those windows. And there's going to be a wall put in on that beam there. And so this classroom is going to be extended right to the outside wall, and will make the footprint of the classroom significantly bigger. And so that scaffolding that I had mentioned a minute ago is to accommodate this, the building of this classroom out. So that's where the workers stood and will stand as they remove that wall and as they are building out this new space. So that's why all that scaffolding right at the top of the stairs. And the reason that that classroom needs to be extended to make it bigger is because there's going to be a hallway now that runs the whole spine of this upstairs space. It'll basically run straight right out to those windows. There's actually a little bit of a jog in it. It's not quite straight, but it's very close. And so what that allows us to do is, you may remember in the past, you had to go through one room to get to another room, and you'd have to walk through one office to get to another office. And that won't be the case anymore. Every space, every room will have access off this main trunk hallway. And that of course improves workflow and the flow of the space, but it also is more appropriate in terms of fire exits and fire escape. And these are some of the things that drove this project. project originally, although we're getting many more improvements to the building than just accessibility and fire escape, not to say just accessibility, but we're taking the time to make other improvements as well. So this is going to be a classroom, and it'll look pretty much the same way as it does right now, in terms of there's no layout changes. But the reason that classroom is being bumped out is because this main hallway is going to steal some real estate, especially from that classroom. So it'll be about the same size as it was, and maybe a little bigger. Okay, so this is going to be the most dramatic part of the tour. As we go out into the landing at the top of the stairs here and turn the corner, you might remember there used to be a wall there, so you can see the scars from the footings, and then beside the wall was a doorway. And this was to access the main stairs that are used by the students to get up to the classroom spaces up here on the second floor. Well, that has all been removed because all the stairs and landings have been removed. So you can see the scars of where the landings and the stairs used to be. So as we look down here, you're looking straight through 3 floors, from the second floor through the main floor down into the basement. And actually a little below, the white stuff is water, as they have excavated even further down through the basement. And the reason for this demolition and excavation is this is going to be an elevator. So this is our elevator shaft. And they've excavated down further to put in the proper footings, to put in the structure that will accept an elevator. And so we will have an elevator through here to improve the accessibility of our building. It's pretty cool. And as we continue through, this was the space that was our staff room and a photocopy room, and it will be a multi-purpose room. As we come around the corner here, you can see a bit of a structure there. That's just a temporary structure, railings and safety measures for the workers, as that is where the stairwell used to be. So basically just so they don't fall down. And you can see a ladder there. They're accessing that space through the ladder a little bit when our students are here, as they can't get in there any other way when our students are here. When the students aren't here, they access it through the front foyer. This was an office, and it will be returned to an office. But as we go this way, this is the center office that you had to go through to access that office, and you had to go through to access, oh, that's not a great view, the business office. And that's what I was referring to earlier. You won't have to do that anymore. So as I enter this space over here, this was the business office, but most of this space will now be taken up by the stairwell, and there's a little bit of an awkward space left, and it'll become a mechanical room. And so you'll come out of the staircase about here, and then you'll take a right-hand turn, and there'll be a door there, and then from that door you access that trunk hallway. And I had mentioned that mechanical room or closet, and we're getting 2 new furnaces up here on this level. And so this level will have proper forced air HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. And with what we're going through with COVID, ventilation has become a significant thing for schools and hospitals, as many public buildings that are older have water heating like we do. And so we're trying to improve the ventilation of our building. And this will have to come in another update, but our classroom level is also getting proper HVAC as well, which is super exciting, as we'll get better heating and cooling for our students. This is the president's office, what's traditionally been the president's office. And you can see that the back wall has been removed. You can see the scars of it over there, and then a new header and beam has been put in to carry that load. And that's been removed for the purpose that, as I was just talking about, so you can access this space then off that hallway. So you'll come to that space off that hallway and you don't have to come through that middle room. So behind this scaffolding, that's a new wall that's been put in place to change the way you come into that room. I'll just sneak behind the wall, sorry for the close-up there. And then this will be in a classroom again, as it has been. This is their office. The foreman works here day in and day out, and so pretty neat to see. They spent 2 or 3 days just kind of setting up the spaces that they would use, and they brought in filing cabinets and printers and computers, and got set up. And not surprising, I guess, considering they're going to be here 6 months or so. But the foreman works right out of this office, and this is kind of their break room and a little bit of supply room. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you're as excited about the changes that are happening here at the school as we are. This is the first update of what I hope will be a series of updates, maybe every couple weeks kind of thing as things develop and change. You'll get to see these spaces that we already saw come along, but there's also a lot of spaces that are having some changes done that didn't make the cut of this update. So stay tuned and continue to see our progress. Thank you for watching.